Alright, so I leave on Sunday to go to KL and I'll be rehearsing for about a week with some dancers from the US who perform with me and some of the best locally in Asia. And we're partially launching, just kind of letting people be aware of the upcoming album and my signing with Warner, throwing this party of my single. And Akon will be flying in to perform as well. And
So
also,
is your guest? Or is
he'll be our guest. And
Okay.
then Taboo
Wow.
also from the Black Eyed Peas.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited. I'm actually talking with his agent and manager right now to try to work on a collaboration. But first thing first, we want to take care of this show. And he'll
Collaboration with Akon or Taboo?
Akon. So
Okay.
I don't want to like preempt it, but
Okay,
so our whole thing is at this party he'll perform and then he'll call me up and then I'll perform some of my songs, and then we're working on trying to get a duet possible for the show. An existing song that he has that I'll sing with him. So sana matuloy.
What's the show called pala?
It's just my. It's just a party for me. Like we don't have a name for
Okay.
it.
Official name, the title.
Yeah.
No, but let's just say "Feel So Good." So
Okay.
it's the album title.
When is this
Feel so
happening?
good party.
April 30, the "Feel So Good" party. Yeah,
Okay.
good idea.
What specific venue?
It'll be at a place called LYF in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
That one.
Yeah, so they have, it's like a show place / club that has an amazing stage and lighting, LED screens and everything already set up.
Is it anything like Resorts World or Arena, Mall Arena or something?
Or is it more like a
More
hard
like,
rock cafe or something?
Yeah, or Republic.
It's probably maybe like a Republic, but with a proper, it's really meant for live shows. So,
Okay.
And Akon will do about a 30 to 45 minute set. I'll do about a 20-minute set, maybe 25. And then Taboo will do a 90-minute set. And then DJ and let that party continue. So we have some, we're able to get some help from Belvedere sponsoring, Hennessy sponsoring, Mercedes that I hosted for will be there, Carlsberg, like people interested for potential teaming up will also come. So it's kind of my launch to all of KL, not just as a singer, but as a host, as a personality.
Prior to this coming Sunday, have you met Akon and Taboo before?
No, I haven't.
So you're gonna be meeting them for the first time?
Yeah.
Wow. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. I watched Akon perform a few years ago here in Manila.
Okay.
And I was just so entertained, so fascinated. And so for this to happen is just more than a dream come true. Even just to perform in the same show, let alone if anything happened after.
Okay. How did you start in your career in Malaysia? Do you have a friend or an agent who introduced you to the Malaysia?
So Malaysia is actually the first place that Julio Iglesias and I went when we were on the tour.
Okay.
And after I went there, I performed. It was our first big shows. I kept telling myself, I'm going to come back here one day, and I want to come back and do my own show. And so for the past few years, I kept in touch with some of the contacts that I made there, and I got an agent as well. Was able to get in touch with the head of Warner. And after it was only after I finished completing my album on my own, because it's self-produced, that I started sending them material. Like, hey, this is my song, check it out, what do you think? Here's I did the photo shoot on my own with friends, and then I was able to get lucky and get supported by them.
Okay. Did they play it on the radio?
Yeah, they launched it on the radio, they're playing it, and then they had me guest at the AIM Awards, which is the Malaysian Music Awards.
Did they show it? Did they show your music video?
They aren't big on music videos because they don't have an MTV.
Okay.
But from what I did there and meeting everyone, they asked me to be the special guest of their Malaysian Music Awards, which was such a huge honor. I awarded the #1 award, which was for the most international achievement with their Malaysian artist. So
it's called Malaysian Music Awards.
It's called AIM.
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 Stand for it.
It's actually in Malay. But AIM/Malaysian Music.
And the award that you presented
was for recognition for the most international achievement.
Okay, who won that?
Miss Nina.
Nina of the...
Her name is Miss Nina.
Miss Nina.
From Malaysia. She did a collaboration with 2 U.S. artists actually, Kobe Calais and someone. So.
How long? How many years have you been pursuing a career in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, about I'd say about maybe 9 months or so.
9 months or so.
Yeah.
Would you say if we go there and ask certain Malaysians, say Krista K, would they know you in the same way that Indonesians know Christian Bautista?
I really hope so. I'm starting. Christian though, kudos to him. And actually, he's an inspiration of mine.
Okay.
Seeing his success in Indonesia, which made me get inspired to pursue things in other countries. So I'm working to get that. I was pleased to have, I know Arnold, my manager, had a meeting at Procter & Gamble here, and then they had a representative from Malaysia and Singapore go and pointed my name out on the list. So for me, that's a huge thing. And I have a long way to go to get to where Christian is, to do a movie and all of that. Pero I'm in the works.
Are you learning Bahasa or Malay right now?
A bit, but the market that they're having me target kasi is the international market. They have two different markets there. The very, very Malay and then the high-end English kind of speaking. And since they're pitching me as an international artist, they encourage.
So this album is going to be released in Malaysia with different minds of Tagalog songs.
So for the Philippines, this is the only version that has 3 Tagalog songs.
Okay.
So when I release it in Malaysia and Singapore, then we'll take off the Filipino songs, and I'm going to see after this event if I can hook up with a local artist there and maybe do a collaboration, and that be the bonus track.
Okay.
So it is mentioned that you also write your songs, right?
Yeah.
So ilan dito sa mga songs na to yung you actually wrote or you collaborated with other artists?
I actually wrote all of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Of course, I collaborated on some of them with some other really good writers, but I made sure that I wrote a majority of each song on my album.
Yeah, the collaboration with you,
Yeah,
he's also working with Roxanne Barcelo.
They're good friends of mine. Actually, it was their studio that I ever first recorded a song.
Okay. And you had the track here with features JR.
Yeah.
So I guess you two are okay now.
We're okay. We're not, of course, close,
Okay.
which might be a little bit weird. Pero we were both able to move on from what happened between us in a mature way naman, and I'm happy that we're able to be adults about it.
Are you still open to collaborating with him for future
Absolutely.
music?
JR is an amazing singer, an amazing producer and writer, and he actually helped me a lot in teaching me how to sing and recording me. And a lot of people ask, why did I keep the duets? And hiwalay na kami. And it's a very sexy song.
Okay.
And so they're like, don't you think awkward? And it's like, for me, honestly, the song is one of my favorite songs on the album. It's so amazing. So, bakit ko tatanggalin? Diba? I mean, we're here, both of us in this industry, to make great music, to please our fans, to make good music for everyone.
So you're also open to performing the song on stage live?
Yeah.
So
Parang Krista. Intrigued.
So that's not a problem. Just asking.
No, it's not a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
How could you describe your album? Is it something like a dance or a upbeat album?
It's definitely an upbeat album. The best way I can describe it is this amazing fusion of dance, pop, and R&B. And each song has an amazing beat, and it's supposed to just be like the title, feels good. Like it will make you feel good. And it's not like the other feel-good music I think Pinoys are used to, where it's medyo mellow and relaxed. I really wanted to go for the faster music because I grew up a dancer, and since I was 7 years old, and that's what I feel like I can really perform best. And I know Pinoys love to dance and love to party, pero wala pa na local artists, in my opinion, that really push that niche market. So sana they'll like it. And I guess if you can describe it, it'd be like a mix of J-Lo, Kylie Minogue, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga kind of stuff, and a little bit of Janet Jackson.
Okay.
Feel So Good will still be the career single.
Yes, actually it's out at the moment. Magic has been great in supporting it, and the music video is out online. We shot it in 5 countries, which was really cool to do. We shot it in the U.S. throughout California, like LA, Hollywood, Disneyland, and we also shot it in Paris. We shot it in London and Sydney, Australia. We got the New Year fireworks in it, which was so beautiful. And then of course Manila is also in it.
Okay.
Very diverse yung titles yung songs. What are these about? Is there a theme to all the songs and lyrics?
Actually, no. I would get as many tracks as I could from producers, and I really wanted to start from there to pick the best sound.
Okay.
And then from there, I would meditate on it and see what feeling it gave me, whether it be talking about falling in love, whether it be being sexy and sexual, or being out at a party in a club and enjoying. And that is what I wrote, depending on what I felt would match.
How long was the making of the song?
From the very beginning of me just trying to look for producers, it had to be maybe about 2.5 years ago. Yeah.
How did you get your start songwriting?
Well,
Have
when
you been doing that when you were young, composing poems and things like that?
in high school,
Okay.
in middle school, I loved to write, but I never wrote songs. And I wrote a little bit of poetry as one part of an English class, but not heavily at all, and I never did again.
Okay.
But I guess I've always had that writer inside of me, that when I started working on the album, I knew that I had a really high respect for artists who wrote their own music. And I thought that was what defined an artist, to be able to do that and put your experience, your emotions into a song so that you can really connect to it and know what you're saying instead of buying it from someone. And so, kahit wala akong experience na magsulat, talagang I stopped going out for like a year and a half, and I tinutukan ko until I could really understand making melodies and fitting it into the song.
Na-interview ako din sa isang kanta, Bading Ka Ba Baby? Did you write that?
Yes.
Does that refer to anyone in particular?
Or who's the inspiration?
How did I know na makatanongin ko yan? Yes, I did write it,
Okay.
and I had some help from my Becky cousin with the gay lingo.
Okay.
And yeah, may pinaghugutan yung kanta. The song, to say the least, I won't name names.
Okay.
Bading Ka Ba Baby. So it's a pop comedy song. The beat is like a really cool dance, Britney Spears kind of track. But the song, the lyric is very bubbly. You will definitely laugh. And it's about a girl who's dating someone, and nako-confess siya sa mga friends niya, or of course the listeners, na I think bading yung boyfriend ko, pero hindi ako sure. Ganon. I'll sing a song, or part of it.
Kilala ba namin to?
Doon na nga patuntayan.
It starts off, hear my story, everybody, di ko na-carry. Tungkol sa labi-dabi kong ang pants laging skinny. Kapag may okrayera, charatera ang Becky. Napapayipiye, hey, win-win, is this the feeling, oh my dear Casey? I see. Mahilig sa pictorials, at kung mag-workout kahit brown at wakaber, go pa rin sa gym. Duda, siya'y nakakaduda. Huwag kang mikmang ka Diyos na Diyos, akong kakaloka. Duda, oh, wag naman sana, kung siya ay isang Diyosa, ako ay malaloka.
So ito dapat ang next single?
Actually, it is my next single. And we already shot the music video.
Okay.
It is so funny. We have a lot of guest stars in it. We have John Sweet Lapos. We have Divine Lee. We
As
have
a video?
we have the
Becky
Becky Knights. We have Bianca Manalo. Yung mga girls parang Becky din. Di ba? So, the music video is being edited right now. So after we promote Feel So Good, yun na po yung next.
Nice. And you also wrote a song called Beauty Queen. Does that refer to your experience?
Yes, actually, I wrote that song right before I went to compete at Miss International. I
Okay.
found out a week and a half before I left for China they decided to add a talent portion, which they've never done, or at least they haven't done in the past few years. So I wrote the song, I sang it there, and that's the one that won me Best in Talent.
Talaga?
Wow.
So some people were saying maybe wag ko na include because it's kind of older and it's, from my beauty queen time pa. Pero for my fans that have been following during the pageant time, I don't know, I feel like it's how I started singing. So I fixed it up a little bit better, improved it, and put it on.
Did you try to learn musical instruments while doing this, writing songs?
I actually used to play the piano when I was a kid. My mom, of course, in Filipina, nag-encourage na matuto ako mag-piano. So I played for a few years. And it must have helped me also in being able to write easier kasi kahit paano, may background ako of how to read music and some.
So that's your medium, piano.
Yeah. The piano and dance, I guess, is my first really experience with the music.
Krista, now that you're pursuing a musical career, are you still open to acting here?
I'm open naman if the project is right. Now, when I first got out here, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So medyo nagdidip ako in iba't ibang things like hosting and acting, and I did SOP for a bit. Now my focus is definitely music and hosting. Pero I've always had this fantasy to do a really good action thing because I'm a black belt in Taekwondo.
Wow.
So if I could ever get in a cool role, maybe mixing even comedy with action like Charlie's Angels or like an Angelina Jolie type of role, I might have to say that I would take it. Para ma-fulfill lang yung deep fantasy na yun.
How about indie movies? Were there offers or have you done an indie movie before?
I've been offered to, kaso at the time I was so focused on finishing things with my album.
Okay.
My past experience with acting was being in Darna and Gagambino and a little bit of guesting in TV shows. Pero yun pa lang.
So you're not open to, kasi they're trying to bring it back, sexy films again?
Ayoko.
Not for you.
Actually, in-offeran na ako na mag-indie film na sexy, pero like I said, if I were to do acting, it would be really select in what I would do.
Okay.
Men's magazine cover.
I've been asked to for the past few years, actually, and who knows in the future. At the moment, ayoko pa muna. I'll save it na lang for later.
Is it hard? Kasi right now you're pursuing a career both in the Philippines and Malaysia. Paano?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Nakakarag.
Oh,
I fly back and forth at least once a week.
Once a week,
Yeah, like either I'm flying here or I'm flying there, or sometimes twice in 1 week and every other day, depending on work. But I guess when you really want something and you're committed to push yourself to that next level, masarap pa rin because when I am required to travel a lot, that means that something good is coming out of my efforts. So.
Why Malaysia? What's so special about that place?
Well, Malaysians
aside from
are
Philippines.
really similar to Filipinos, actually.
Okay.
So when I first went there, we spent a lot of time there, and that's where I met my most number of connections compared sa ibang places besides the U.S. And they are very welcoming and warm and accepting of new people coming, just like as
We are.
Filipinos are. And so for me, and then of course the traveling is a lot, so I wanted to keep it close and somewhere where I would still feel at home as my testing ground. And then of course out of that is how Singapore aroused, because Warner, my label in Malaysia, is connected to Singapore, and so nag-expand na lang ako from there.
I just want to ask, what was the last project you did here in the Philippines after this, before you did this?
Before this, so my
So
major
the last time I saw you, Party P.
Party P, yeah. So I guess on Party P I do Wawa Willie really often. Before it was Big Time, Big Time. I'm always there on the launches. I've done Wawa Willie since it launched about maybe 6 times. They have me dance. I was just there yesterday. So it's been a great venue for me to start showing up that performing side of me. Of course, once I launch, I'll be launching on ASAP and then doing all the ABS guestings and then hopefully GMA and 5 as well.
What's your arrangement? Kasi I read na you were under GMA's roster.
Yeah, when I first moved here from California, it was because GMA had offered me a network contract. So, sa umpisa lang, I was here for 3 years under them. Halfway through that is when I joined Bini Bini Pilipinas, and I won, so my contract went to them. And then now I'm free from a network commitment, so I've had the pleasure of being able to guest sa lahat ng network.
It says here that Julio Iglesias is some kind of a mentor for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how close are you?
Well, he's the reason why I decided to pursue a music career.
Okay.
It was my tour with him that we would hang out, we travel together kasi on his private plane, we'd always have lunch and dinner together.
Okay.
So I told him that I had this fantasy nga of becoming a singer-dancer. Pero medyo insecure ako kasi lahat ng mga Pinoy ang gagaling kumanta and kumakanta talaga yung mga singers since bata pa sila. So I felt like I was too late to start trying to sing. And he gave me this great advice saying that it's not all about how much vocal training you have or how good of a vocalist you are. It's a lot of injecting your own personality and your character and becoming an artist. And he said that he really believed that I was an artist and a great performer, and that is what I needed to be a successful singer. And of course, practicing singing on the side. So those words of encouragement, yung parang, uy, baka may pag-asa pala ako if I work hard. If he would say that to me, and after seeing people from all around the world. So, yun, and ever since then, I've been fully committed. I send him articles when things come out, and my songs I send to him. So, he became like a mentor, kind of like a father figure in that sense.
Nakita ba kayo nung nag-perform siya rito?
Hindi nga, I was in KL. They messaged me that they were here and I was there. So, sayang eh.
Do you have time to date?
I have time to have a social life.
So that means, does that include dating? Social
Yeah,
life?
yeah. I definitely don't close my doors. But right now, this is really my main focus, is developing my career. But I'm really having fun with my social life, dating life, whatever you want to say.
What's your ideal date?
My ideal date, gosh, would be something different, something fun, somewhere where I would get to dance and laugh a lot, and be with, of course, really great company, which I think is key to have a good date.
You were there, na Binibining Pilipinas, di ba, recently?
I was.
So, what are your thoughts about your experience, the winners and all that?
Bini Bini, it was really good to be there. It was kind of surreal to be back there after so long. I haven't been there since my coronation night. And just to kind of, because I've really dove into this music industry and I stepped away from all the beauty pageant stuff. So to watch them, parang na-relive ko ulit yung pinaghirapan ko yung time na yun. Medyo stress nga ako habang pinapanood ko sila because I know the feeling when you want something so bad and your fate is in the hands of the judges. And I definitely felt for the girls. I thought there were many, many beautiful girls, and some of the answers were impressive and clever. And I unfortunately wasn't able to hang around to talk to them more. But the overall production I thought was great. ABS-CBNs were doing a really great job with it. And it was nice. I think they honored all the past queens there. And it's the 50th anniversary.
What do you think and feel about this year's music campaign?
There were some that I thought maybe could have placed better. I'm definitely one to lean towards someone who answers really well in the Q&A. Because I believe in the past, that is what messed up. That's what messed up our chances to getting a higher place. So a few of them I think are definitely deserving to where they be, and maybe a few runner-up here and there, but kind of switch around. Pero Bini Bini Pilipinas knows what they're doing, and kasi sa kanila bahala mag-train sa kanila.
Do you feel a little bad that the trend now is towards more morenas than mestizas?
Well, that's my part. I'm always in this like love-hate of pageants because I know all the bad sides of it nga, and all the politics, and minsan hindi talaga fair yung pag-judge nila. There are times when they lean towards mestizas, and right now they're leaning towards morenas. So I guess it's only fair when you think of it that way. But for me, what would be really best if you just pick the best and most deserving person, whether the trend is morena or mestiza.
Kasi ngayon, they have more candidates this year than the previous batches.
Yeah, because it's the 50th anniversary,
yes.
so they want to have 50 candidates.
So it's more difficult to choose the
Siyempre,
right ones.
I think even
25 lang, mahirap na yun, di ba?
Nahihilo na ako. Like, I can't even remember their names or the number. I'm remembering like by answer. Of course, it's part of the show, right? To have 50 girls. It's really hard to choose the best one in such a short amount of time that each of the girls are there. So the pressure is on the judges, and they do their best, I'm sure.
You mentioned that even during your time, you're already leaning towards singing and dancing.
Yeah, I mean, before I joined Beanie Beanie, I was performing on SOP for about a year.
Okay.
That was my first dip into performing on television. And I was afraid that after winning, I'd have to sacrifice that for a year and have to put it on hold. But all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, a miracle happened, and Julio Iglesias was here, and he asked me to go on tour. So I was still able to pursue my music.
Do you think that helps? You're already in showbiz, and then you join a beauty pageant. Or does that add more pressure to you?
It definitely adds more pressure. It depends on you. If in the beginning, initially people will interview you more because the press kind of knows you and they're a little bit more curious.
Okay.
But that, of course, would make Miss Araneta upset because she doesn't want it to be unfair. Okay. So as much as you're getting more press, you're making the owner upset.
Okay.
And then all eyes are on you nga. So if you make a small mistake, and normally if they didn't know you, they wouldn't notice, dito huling-huli ka. So there's no...
Kasi artista ka pa, no?
Yeah, well, they have a closer eye on you, so there's less room for mistakes. Oh. Naalala ko yung stress ko nun.
Ano yung tinanong sa'yo no time?
Yung time ko was, if you had 5 minutes of President Obama, what would you talk about and why? It was the only question asked that night to all the girls that I had not researched and practiced or, kind of asked myself. So, but I was able to pull it off naman, I think.
Venus Ra was your batchmate, ba?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was.
That was the year, but
Yes, that was an amazing year. To be next to her.
After Venus, then you.
No, we were same batch.
No, I mean.
Number-wise. Yeah, she was number 10, I was number 11, I think.
And then the other, who are the top 5? Venus, you, and...
Serena Gatponton, Diane Nesho, and Nicolette Hanson.
Oh, Nicolette.
Yeah.
You're the one who was supposed to compete for Miss Universe, but for a while there was a controversy for Venus, diba? And then
Yeah. So I was on tour at the time.
Okay.
And medyo na-hurt nga ako yung time na yun kasi I wasn't here to defend myself.
Okay.
And I know nakakagulo si Venus yung time na yun, her supporters. Somehow, it got twisted na...
ikaw pinag-initan?
Ako ang anong sinabi nila? Parang ako daw ang nag-leak ng information na fake yung birth certificate niya. And ako na parang, first of all, I'm not in the country. Second of all, she admitted it herself. In front of me and a room of maybe 10, 15 people, including Miss Araneta Dolores, ganyan. So, even if she had, there's no reason for me to say it, inadmit na niya. And thirdly, it wouldn't actually have gone to me because I already had a title. It would have gone to the runner-up. So ako naman, diba? Yeah. So for me, parang ako talaga pinag-initan. So I try to understand, siguro because I am showbiz nga, and it would be a bigger issue pag akong diname. Unfortunately, wala ako dun para i-clear yung name ko properly. So, minsan hanggang na yun, feeling ko may galit pa sa akin ng mga supporters niya. Like, I didn't do it.
So, tinigilan ka na nila nung nabawi na ni Venus nung siya din nag-compete after all?
Hindi din eh.
Hindi pa rin?
Because sometimes you do, because people sometimes aren't updated sa mga news or interviews or statements sa mga
Die-hard fans.
a die-hard fan. And it's so funny because it was BPCI that released that information and dethroned her. And I would email them, say, can you please make a statement clearing my name and saying it's your decision and has nothing to do with me. And they ignored my emails and they didn't put out a statement. And siguro para pumunta yung init sa akin imbis sa kanila.
So the longer it took, the more na nagagat yung fan sa'yo.
Yeah, because BPCI never cleared my name. Okay. And so, pero I think now it's been a while naman. So hopefully nag-die down na yung issue.
Okay.
How did you meet Julio Iglesias pala?
He was here to do a show, and he had been holding this worldwide tour, and every show that he went to for his tour, looking for a new act to join him. And he held an audition here, and I went, although I wasn't supposed to be able to leave because I had my responsibilities here nga. And after I auditioned, he was so set on getting me na talagang pinakausapan niya yung mga Araneta para hayaan ako.
Beauty queen ka pa at the time?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks after I won.
Oh.
It was immediately after.
So
Kaya nagtuloy.
technically, hindi pa yata dapat pwede yun, di ba?
Well, actually, there's no rule that you can't leave. A lot of girls sometimes still go to other countries para mag-train then.
Okay.
And luckily, it wasn't like I was Miss Universe and my competition was in 3 months.
Okay.
Mine was like 9 months away pa.
Okay.
So we just agreed on a date that I would come back so that I would have my proper 3 months of.
Pero marami kayo nag-audition nun? Per
Yeah,
Julio?
it was, I think, there's a big room of girls, maybe 20 people.
Wow.
Oh.
What made Julio Iglesias select you as...
Well, you'd have to ask him to really know.
He didn't mention any...
Pero he...
Were you the tallest in the room?
No, not at all.
Okay.
There's a lot of tall girls. And from what he told me, it was my natural flow of how I danced. You can tell, he could see that I had dance background in training. It's very natural. He said that I could project as a performer and I wasn't shy, which I thank my experience with SOP and other shows here for that. And of course he interviewed me after because he wanted someone who's smart and able to think quickly on their feet. Kasi may mga interview din kami sa mga shows niya and on the spot things. So he said, you're also a very clever girl. I like that. You speak English well. So I'll get you to be part.
Do you have plans of doing shows this year together, you and Julio?
Wala pa.
Okay.
I'm focusing on my album and trying to promote that and expand that to the US market then eventually. So who knows, one day. I'm feeling ko I have to work harder pa to get on his level to do that.
Do you have any network offers right now?
I do have some offers. Kaso, because my goal is to promote my music to as many people as I can, I kind of worry that if I tie myself down to a network, madalimit yun. So maybe after I do all my promos sa iba't ibang network, I'll further consider any offers.
So right now, you can appear on any network?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarap, diba? 1 week there, 1 week doon.
Have you also met yung son of Julio, si Enrique?
I wished I had. Kasi sabi ko, Julio, di ba tayo dadaan sa bahay mo? Kung meron kang kailangan pick upin, like yung anak mo.
So you did ask about him, Enrique?
Oo. Pero feeling ko pag tinatanong siya about Enrique, naiinis siya. Parang, ako, si Julio. Ako yung bida. He's really funny. We did talk about Enrique a lot. He told me a lot of childhood stories, how Enrique first started music and how the news got broken to Julio. Yung mga intimate families, parang secrets or stories, which was really cool to know. I did meet his current wife, the one that he just got married to last year, and his 5 kids with her, who are babies. So they're beautiful. Kasi we took a break, we stayed at his place in Florida for a bit, and he had me train the next person that would kind of take my place while I went to Miss International.
How long are you willing to wait until this album of yours becomes really, really big? Do you have a time frame, like by next year it should be platinum or?
Oh gosh, for me, as fast as I can make it happen. I'm just doing everything I can to push in every way here in the Philippines and other markets, and even while I'm still promoting this album, I'm already trying to talk to managers and artists in the US for hopeful collaborations. So sa akin kasi, you just have to work in as many different angles as you can, and it'll just be one thing that will all of a sudden.
How do you take care of yourself with all the activities that you're doing?
Preserve your voice and all that.
Yeah, well, I sleep a lot when I don't have work. I'll try to sleep for like 9 hours. Pero when I just have to I avoid cold drinks. The typical singer things, like have tea, I have medication on standby just in case it's feeling raspy. And I think for me though, this is the most balanced my life has ever been. And because nafe-feel ko yung balance na yun, I have this extra energy boost inside of me and I'm seeing results. So dun ko nahuhugot yung extra energy.
You still get to exercise.
Usually just dance rehearsals, and luckily yung ano ko, if I'm busy, I lose weight without trying kahit kumain ako. So pag busy ako, kasi minsan I'll like today, like I haven't really eaten a proper meal yet. Pero hindi ako nag-diet, so ano lang, just busy and moving around.
When did you decide on Krista K?
Krista K. So it was actually when I
What's the deal
decided,
with that?
as I was wrapping up the album and then putting it together, ako naman, Krista Kleiner for me is what I'm known for as being a beauty queen. And I really wanted somewhat of a fresh beginning. I didn't want to be known as, yung beauty queen na nagtatry kumanta. Or di ba, yung naglabas ng album. No, I wanted to be known as an artist. And just dropping the Kleiner and leaving it as K, for me, made me feel that bit of freedom. I'm a new person now, I'm a performer, this is my performer name, and breaking away from that beauty pageant and beauty queen image.
Any dream collaborations in the future?
Dami. I mean,
top 3 lang siguro. Local and foreign.
So for foreign, I mean, doing dance music, I would love to collaborate with amazing DJs. So it'd be like David Guetta, Calvin Harris, will.i.am. And rappers, of course, complement singers, female pop singers, really well. Of course, Akon is on that list. My idols were like J-Lo and Lady Gaga, people like that. I would really be honored to work with anyone of that caliber.
What music-related shows do you watch?
Music-related shows, I would watch a bit of Glee, and of course, when I can, ASAP and Party Pilipinas, because there's amazing talent on there. To be honest, I recently haven't been able to watch too much TV, but those are things that really inspire me.
What about Glock 9?
Glock 9 is amazing. Yes, locally, Glock 9 is a genius. I've actually been in the studio with him before while he was working on some songs, so that would be a great dream. Gary Veneziano was the first person I ever watched in concert, and if I could do something with him, since he's known for doing dance music, I would love to do that then.
Is this album already out in the stores?
It is, Apa. It came out, I think, about a week and a half ago, and I was so excited. Last week it debuted at number 2 on the Phil charts, right under Jessica Sanchez and Neo. So for me, I mean, of course, I know that I still have to push it for everyone in the Philippines to really be familiar with the song, but that was a big encouraging thing para sa akin.
But are you going to do a formal launching of the album sometime?
Oh, but I actually was supposed to do it at the end of this month for the press and everybody perform. Kasi yun nga, this thing came up in KL so we're gonna finish this event muna and then work on planning that.
So Malaysia first.
Oh, okay. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Sorry.
I'll take you later.
Ano ba?
Thanks, brother.
Thanks for coming.